Hello, welcome to Pop Nick's Music. I am, as always, your host, Papa Nick Lewis, and today's a nice short video. Um, I considered taking the week off because I was on vacation last week, and I'm still catching up with all of the events of life that happen when you take a vacation. But yesterday, Billy Joel released a new single, and so today I'm going to give you my thoughts on that single. It's going to be nice and quick, in and out. Nobody gets hurt. What I think about my very quick thumbnail sketch review of Billy Joel's new song, Turn the Lights Back On. Before we get into that, subjectivity notice. Artistic appreciation is, by definition, subjective. There is no such thing as objectively good or objectively bad art. There is only art that I like and art that I do not. And as long as we keep that in mind, this is a wonderful conversation. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's informative, all of that fun stuff. It only goes off the rails when somebody involved in the conversation gets hung up on being seen as having a perspective that is objectively, quantifiably, provably right or wrong. And so, no, we're not going to do that. This is all a matter of taste. So, let's not go there. So, Billy Joel released a new song. It's the first song that he's released in, 14 years, 13 years, something like that? 17 years, doing the math in my head. It was 2007, I believe. There's a crawl down here if I'm wrong, that he released a couple of singles. He hasn't released an album of new pop songs since 1993's River of Dreams. So we're talking 30 years where we haven't gotten much in the way of new recordings from Billy Joel. And he has said in numerous interviews that it's not like he burned out. It's not like he can't write anymore or anything like that. He writes music all the time. It's just that he focuses on writing first music as opposed to songs, but also writing music that he likes. He's not necessarily writing for an audience. He's just, he's playing music every day. He's writing music every day, but it's music for his own enjoyment. He hasn't felt the need to add to the pretty hefty pile of pop tunes that he's written. But he has, like I said, he's been writing pretty much consistently all the way through the last 30 years or so. He's been touring. I've seen him probably 3 times now. 3 times that he's come to Texas in the last few years. We'll be seeing him again this fall because he's coming back to San Antonio this fall. Very pleased to see that. And then, the world of Billy Joel fans was all abuzz. Because, as I said, yesterday he released a new original single, Turn the Lights Back On. I have to look at the title every time because I'll get it wrong if I don't. As soon as I had access to this thing, I listened to it. And I've probably listened to it a dozen times over the last day. And here's the question. Is it any good? And I would say a qualified yes. If you have not yet listened to the song, if you're thinking about listening to the song and you're just not quite sure, first off, it's 4 minutes. I mean, suck it up and listen to it. But if you're at all trepidatious about it, don't be. It's a good, solid song. It's got everything that you would expect from a Billy Joel song. A lot of piano flourishes. Closer to She's Always a Woman than something like, say, Summer Highland Falls. But still, there's a lot of good piano work in there. I'm willing to bet... I can't hear it myself, but I'm willing to bet $50 that the vocal recording has been pitch corrected, just because that's standard operating procedure these days. But it doesn't sound like it to me, and it would be one of those cases where it doesn't need to be, because as I said, I've seen him in concert over the last few years, and he still has a strong, accurate voice. So overall, yeah, I'd give it a relative thumbs up. I'm giving it a qualified thumbs up. Why am I giving it a qualified thumbs up? Okay, here's where we get into the negatives. The music is fine, but the lyrics are. Reading off of my notes, the song doesn't have enough heft to it to justify the fact that it took 4 guys to write it. One of the things that I've always liked about Billy Joel is that he doesn't work with co-writers. In all of his albums, he had 2 songs where he credited a co-writer. One of them I don't really count because, yes, he did credit Beethoven for for the snippet that he copied from Beethoven in one of the songs off of Innocent Man. The name is slipping my mind, and I don't want to stop and look it up. This night, I knew it would come to me. The other song that he had a co-writer was Code of Silence off of The Bridge that Cyndi Lauper helped him with. But apart from those 2 songs, he writes all of his own stuff. He works alone, which I've always liked. I like the fact that there is a dominant voice in Billy Joel's songwriting, and I think he's a very good songwriter. I did an album ranking video of Billy Joel's albums. He said redundantly, and I said then that I think that he is the preeminent songwriter of this generation. That he is our Irving Berlin, the same way that Brian Wilson is our George Gershwin. And I stand by that. I think that he is a very talented songwriter. And so seeing that he's working with a group of people, and the end product really doesn't justify that many cooks in there spoiling the broth. The 4 writers are Billy Joel, Freddie Wexler, Arthur Bacon, and Wayne Hector. And I have to read all those lines off, or all those names off, other than Billy Joel, because I've never heard of these guys before. I don't listen to modern pop music. I don't listen to Justin Bieber or One Direction, which One Direction is not even modern pop music anymore. I don't listen to that kind of music, so I'm not familiar with these guys. And I do not mean that as a criticism. I don't listen to Justin Bieber not because I've got anything against him, but just because I'm not his target audience. I don't think he's banking his hopes on me buying his records. And so we've got these guys that are co-writing the song. I don't know who's involved in what. The piano work sounds very much like a Billy Joel song. So I'm thinking, yeah, he's writing the bulk of that music, or at least he's adapting music that he's been given. But the lyrics do not live up to Billy Joel's standards. One of the things I've always liked about Billy Joel's lyrics is that they have strong detail. They have strong images. They work well as poetry. You don't need to listen to the music to still appreciate the quality of the lyrics. And we don't have that with Turn the Lights Back On. I've actually printed this stuff off because I'm not going to remember it. The first verse. Please open the door. Nothing is different. We've been here before. Pacing these halls, trying to talk over the silence. It's hard to recite the lyrics without slipping into the song. And pride sticks out its tongue, laughs at the portrait that we've become, stuck in a frame, unable to change. I was wrong. Now, that's not bad. I'm not heaping shit on this. I'm not saying that's a crap song. No. What I'm saying is it's very general. We've got the closest we've got to a specific image is pride sticks out its tongue, and even there, I'm having to fill in the blank in terms of how I want to visualize pride. And I don't expect that in a Billy Joel song. What I expect is something that is vivid, that is detailed, that is more communicative than this. I'm expecting that I'm not going to have to carry that much of the burden of understanding what's going on here. We do have occasional bits of cleverness. The second verse, here, stuck on a hill, outsiders inside the home that we built. I love that, outsiders inside the home that we built. That's nice wordplay. But that's the one spot where I can point to it and I can think, okay, that's the kind of thing I would expect to see in this song, knowing that it's a Billy Joel song. And I thought to myself, okay, maybe I'm just being unfair. Maybe I'm, working with rose-tinted memories here. And so I randomly picked two songs from two of his lesser albums. Okay, if you haven't seen my album ranking video, the album that comes in dead last is Cold Spring Harbor, mostly because it's got issues. So if we don't count that, the next two bottom feeder albums are Street Life Serenade and The Bridge. And I've got the same comment for both of those albums, or the same reaction to both of those albums. They sound to me like they were recorded before he had completed his writing, which turns out that is actually what happened. He went in with half-baked song ideas and had to finish the album quickly, and so the quality of the songwriting is just not that good. And I just randomly picked, you have to trust me on this, but I just randomly picked a song from each. From Street Life Serenade, I picked Los Angelinos. First verse. Los Angelinos all come from somewhere to live in sunshine, their funky exile. Midwestern ladies, high-heeled and faded, driving sleek new sports cars with their New York cowboys. Hiding up in the mountains, laying low in the canyons, going nowhere on the streets with their Spanish names. Okay, gave myself goosebumps with that. There's more going on in that one verse than there is in the entire song for the new song. Los Angelinos all come from somewhere to live in sunshine, their funky exile. It's not super specific, but at least we've got sunshine. Well, in Turn the Lights Back On, we've got darkness, so it's pretty comparable. But the second half of that first verse, Midwestern ladies, high-heeled and faded. Okay, now I've got a specific mental image that is far and away more realized than anything in Turn the Lights Back On. Driving sleek new sports cars with their New York cowboys. Oh, man, that's a good turn of phrase. We've got the juxtaposition, New York cowboy. A New York cowboy is going to be a fake cowboy. Is going to be John Travolta, an urban cowboy, not a real cowboy, right? Oh, man, I love that line. Going nowhere on the streets with their Spanish names. Going nowhere on the street. That's again, we've got juxtaposition there. I'm on the street. I'm driving, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm moving, but I have no destination. I have no path other than the fact that I'm on this street. And there are the streets with the Spanish names. They're trying to give a sense of the exotic to what is a meaningless drive. The song that I randomly picked off of The Bridge is Modern Woman. And again, I'm plucking song titles. I didn't go into this with a plan. First verse of Modern Woman. You see her sitting with her coffee and her paper, with her high-top sneakers of Italian design. Okay, I'm 2 lines in, and I already have a much more vivid mental image of what we're talking about than anything we have in Turn the Lights Back On. With a long, cool stare. Oh, that's an illusion, folks. With a long, cool stare, she aggravates the tension, makes up her face while she makes up her mind. Wordplay. We've got 2 different meanings of the phrase makes up. Billy Joel knows how to write a really good lyric. He knows how to use detail. He knows how to use the language. He is a craftsman of very high quality in his lyrics. And Turn the Lights Back On just doesn't have that level of quality to it. Again, I'm not saying it's a crap song. It's a good song. I've enjoyed listening to it. It's definitely worthy of being in the library. It's not so good that it's likely to displace anybody's top 10 entries. I don't think it's going to muscle its way onto that list. But it's a good song. It makes me excited at the prospect that he might be doing more. I would love it if he would write and record an album of new original music, whether it's pop tunes or classical works, whatever. I would love it if he would write and record more music. And this, if that's what this is, if this is a first step in that direction, then hey, I give it the thumbs up. And as far as the music goes, I give it a thumbs up. Let's just hope that if he does write more, he gets rid of the Freddies and the Arthurs and the Waynes, and he just does it himself, because he can do much better than this, I think, lyrically anyway. But that's what I think of Turn the Lights Back On, and even after talking about it for this long, I still had to look at the flipping title. That's what I think about Turn the Lights Back On. What do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Leave that comment down below. Tell me what you think. I always enjoy hearing from you. If you enjoyed the conversation today, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. I would appreciate it if you'd click that like button down there. While you're down there, go ahead and click the subscribe button. It's free. You might as well. And if you do subscribe, click the notification icon so that you'll know when I post stuff. It makes a difference to the YouTube people, so I would appreciate it. Thanks again for watching today, and I hope that the rest of your day is entertaining. See you soon.